Kia ora e te whānau. I will have to apologise for the light today. Hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for all your beautiful comments on my last journal, my flip-flop, my very first. I can't tell you what it means to me. When I was going through that journal, I did make mention to making these little plates, and that I was going to do a tutorial on it, same way I did that one there. Oh, the sun, oh my goodness, and it's the middle of winter. But yeah, that guy was done the same way. That one's a bit more fiddly because when you use the die cut you've got to take out all those little bits. I mean, it's worth it, it looks great, but goodness gracious, it's a bit of an effort. So this is what, and you'll notice that some, like, they all come out quite differently. So for example, there's that one. I don't know if the sun is actually good for it or makes it harder to see. That one, which looks just rusty, but can you see the texture on it? That one there, I hope you can see it okay. But I mean, you can use metal plates, of course, but this just makes it a little bit more flexible because you can use any die cut that you want and make it look metal, right? So it doesn't just have to be a label holder. And then what do you do with them? Well, I've shown you two uses, and then you could just add them as little, depending on what color embossing this is. And I'm not going to show you how to do embossing because, you know, that would be teaching you guys how to suck eggs. All I will say is that when you are embossing, press gently so that you don't get a blur of, for example, this boo-boo, so that you don't get a blur of the stamp and the numbers, and they're a little bit more crisp, if you can see the difference there. And it is worth getting a little paintbrush and just giving it a really good blow, just like to get any excess off, and then if need be, getting a little paintbrush just to take off the extra bits, just to clean it up. Just makes it come out a bit more clear. So without further ado, I'll show you my process and the products that I use, and then if you want to make them, you can make them all on your own. All I will say is, so I've just got these old bingo cards. They're probably about 300 GSM weight card from the $2 shop, and I've got so many of them I don't know what to do with them because you know me, I only want to put them into a red journal. Some of them, however, I have cut two, stuck them together, and some are only one thickness. So this is one that I have stuck two on top of each other. So I've just cut them, glued them, then spray painted them. This one, a bit thinner, that's only one. So it just depends how substantial you want the card to be. Okay, now I will show you the process. Okay, so stick some masking tape onto an old sheet, sticky side up, and then stick either end of it down to the sheet with 2 extra bits of masking tape. This will ensure that when you're spray painting, all your little pieces don't go flying, which is really annoying. This is what you're going to need. It's Rust-Oleum hammered metal. You can either do it in 2 coats or just take it easy like I am, but you want a nice clear coating of this so that it's covered all of the, well, in my case, bingo print marks. I will also add the products that I've used in the description below the video. So I just gave that a really good coating, and I didn't wait until it had dried. I think it would give a different effect again if you waited until that dried properly before you used the next step. Next I use this Dulux Rust Effect, and this one I'm not coating completely, I'm just shooting a few bits here and there, and you can play around with this. You could do a couple that you cover completely just in this like I showed you at the beginning. You could put a little bit more rust on one end, you could leave some of the hammered metal ones just as they are, but basically you just get a whole different variety based on how you go about the spray painting, and there's really no direct method to this. It kind of is, you get what you get. So I'm just going to put some more of this hammered Rust-Oleum onto the top because there were some parts that just had a little bit too much of the rust. And to be fair, in New Zealand, I think this hammered Rust-Oleum has been discontinued, so it could be hard to find, but I'm sure there's another product out there that will give you a similar effect. I have 2 cans at my ready that I have been using and will continue to use until they run out before I have to find something different. So I'm just going back and forth, spray painting bits and pieces how I want them, and then I just leave them to dry and remove them from the masking tape once they are. So I hope that was something a little bit different for you to give a go if you haven't played around with spray paint before. I do definitely recommend using a mask and making sure that you're outside in a ventilated area. I was out on my deck and just the sky's the limit. You could do any die cut this way and turn it into a faux metal look. So I would love to see what you decide to do with it in the comments, or jump over to our Facebook page and give us a bit of a share there as well. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much again, and thank you for sticking with me. And until next time, mā te wā.